What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, back with some more boxing. Now, the funny thing about YouTube is some of you guys have select memories. Some of you guys pick and choose what you want to remember. Maybe you didn't see the initial video. Maybe you just don't care. Maybe you're a troll. Who knows? But recently, post Maidana, I've made some videos about Adrian Broner, and they haven't been favorable. And that's really because I feel Broner's ultimately disrespecting the sport. He has a lot of distractions like Pacquiao, but at least Pacquiao had accomplished a lot more in his career. At least Pacquiao, before he got his quote unquote distractions like gambling and cheating on his wife and all that kind of stuff, he had already established a lot in the sport of boxing. Broner's still young and he's acting as if he's a Mayweather, acting as if he's a Pacquiao or a Miguel Cotto Marquez, like he's worked his way up. That's the problem. And his overall mentality, like Pacquiao, seems like a very competitive person. He doesn't really go overboard, pretty humble, etc., etc., etc. Well, Broner is over the top a lot of times, and I've said that. And on my channel, I give you guys a fair shake. I give you the goods and the bads, the pros and the cons. With Broner, some people are saying that lies, just arbitrarily lying and saying I said stuff that I didn't say. Um, in the words of Roy Jones Jr., y'all must have forgot. Because, again, on my channel, I give you a fair approach. There's pros and cons. There's things I like about Broner, and there's things that I haven't been okay with. So I put together and chopped together some videos I've done in the past. It'll be at the end of this video. And I've said a lot of stuff that wasn't favorable towards Broner. As far as some people lying, saying I said he was top 3 pound for pound, please find the link of the video I did where I actually said that, and the amount of seconds into the video where I said that. Because some of you guys just lie and say, oh, you were Broner's biggest fan and all kinds of stuff. I like the kid. I just think he needs to get his mind right. I told you from the jump that I like Marcos Maidana as well. Maidana's a true warrior. And if anyone's going to disrespect the sport, whether it's Chavez Jr., Broner, or anyone else who decides to disrespect it, then I can't really side with that. Broner recently said in an interview, I'm still young, fly, flashy, and still in the game of boxing. He also said, I'm not here to make excuses. It's a dangerous sport. We're not going to sit here in sorrow. We're going to live tomorrow like we won the fight. So if anybody wants to come out with and be with the 3 world champion, I could still say I'm 3 world champion. I could still live on and say that. I could still party. I could still have fun. My first party is going to be on Tuesday in Cincinnati. Like, what the fuck, man? I just don't understand. Why are you making statements like that? If you got your head taken off by Maidana, you got your head taken off by Maidana. I don't see why fighters would even have that mentality. It seems like you would want some get back to avenge that loss. You were undefeated. You previously said you can't be beat, and you were beat. So I just don't see how you're making statements like, yeah, I could still party. I could still have fun. I'm having a party on Tuesday. What are you celebrating? That's my problem with Broner. So as long as he's going to disrespect the sport, then I'm going to say what I have to say, and there's nothing that's going to change that. Nothing against Adrian Broner. I'm not trying to disrespect him. I'm stating my opinion. That's something I'll always do. So it doesn't really matter who you are. Hopefully me and Broner can work together in the future, but I'm going to state my opinion just like he states his. And as far as the people on the YTBC that are saying stuff I haven't said, good luck with that, bruh, in the words of Jay-Z. And just here's some previous things that where I was open-minded with Broner, and I did let you know. I even said Broner is possibly the Willie Beeman of boxing, and now I've seen a lot of people running with that. I said that way back in March of this year. So, I mean, I've given you guys a fair shake on Broner and my outlook. He does some things right, but he's getting overboard with the partying and rap careers and all kinds of extra shit. So, watch the video. But obviously, Adrian Broner being young and kind of immature, I'm sure he thought that makes him look cool or whatever. So, with Broner, I definitely try my best to separate the talent from the showboating antics and extracurricular shit, but it is getting a bit much. Just eating strippers. I mean, you're a talented dude. You don't necessarily have to do all that. Burning money, leaking your own sex tape, and then beyond that, think about these decisions you're making. Getting in fights in Miami. He got arrested. I believe that was this year in Miami at the club. He had some kind of scuffle. Just all these things. Some people will say all publicity is good publicity, but I don't necessarily think, especially if you're living the lifestyle. And we've seen so many boxers time and time and time again go through this. Rest in peace, Tommy Morrison was a victim of this. This is a man who was the Duke. He was America's great white hope. He was a talented heavyweight fighting big names and had quite the fan base. And we seen a downward spiral, and that just recently came to a halt as he passed away. But he contracted AIDS, he contracted HIV, he got AIDS. Just really living the fast life, drugs. We've seen Mike Tyson. I was watching the Tyson documentary. Tyson was saying how, yeah, when I went to fight Trevor Burbick, I was burning. I had chlamydia, or he said, I don't know. I don't even remember what disease he had, but he had some, in one of his fights, he had some kind of STD, just living the fast life, that party life. And boxing requires pretty much your full undivided attention. You can't be a Chavez Jr. and lackadaisical with training and not taking it seriously and not taking your opponent serious and then expecting to fight these guys, because some of these guys started from the bottom, now they hit, like they come from the bottom, they come from nothingness, they have nothing, they're poor. They're like Leo Santa Cruz, who lives with 8 or 9 relatives and a sick brother, and they're trying to get them into a better situation, into a bigger house. I mean, these are the stories that we see all the time. Josito Lopez, his pops is in jail. Lamont Peterson and Anthony Peterson were living in the streets of D.C. homeless. These are the types of stories and environment these boxers are coming from. So you can't not take this shit seriously, because some people want what you have. Adrian Broner is a noticeable marquee name. He's building that brand. He's building the Adrian Broner brand. And I guarantee you there's guys that want that. Arguably, Marcos Maidana isn't as popular as Adrian Broner. Like, to the casual fan, I'm not saying who's a better fighter or anything like that, but he doesn't speak English. So in the States, I would say Adrian Broner's name probably rings more bells than a Marcos Maidana, even though I like both fighters. These are just simple facts. Adrian Broner has headlined more events by himself, and it just is what it is. So these guys want what you have, so you don't have any opportunity to take this shit lightly. So that's my advice to Broner. Make sure you're disciplined. Like I said, I did a video recently, and I was like, is Broner fat? Because I seen some recent pictures, and it looks like he packed on some pounds. You got to take this shit seriously. And just protect yourself. Protect yourself, people who are in your circle, because you never know. At the end of the day, there's people in your circle who are there when the ride is fun, but when the going gets tough, they're gone. They're out of your circle. They're on to the next person. They leech off people. Adrian Broner said some unfavorable things, some basically classless and tasteless things. After the fight, Paulie Malignaggi clearly goes to Broner's side, to Broner's corner, and I can't hear because they didn't have mics on or nothing, but just from body language, it looked like Malignaggi was saying, hey, kid, good job, good performance, good fight, something to that degree. And then Broner kind of looks at him and just shakes his head like, yeah. After that, when Broner, like moments after that, Broner's doing his interview with Jim, he says, I came to Brooklyn, I took his belt, and I took his girl. So it's kind of like, really, was that needed? Was that necessary? In the past, I've seen fighters who trash talk and go at it, have the war awards, and they see they're in with good competition and it goes the distance or whatnot. And after, they're very respectable. And I prefer that. I think boxing does need good sportsmanship. You got to take your L in the right fashion. He went over to Broner, and it looked like he was congratulating him. So for him to bring up the Jessica girl on national TV and during his time to shine and talk about the fight, it was kind of rude and tasteless. I don't think Adrian Broner showed enough that would lead me to believe that he could beat Mayweather at 147. I mean, Mayweather's been in there with bigger punchers. Now, you pit Broner against someone like Marcos Maidana, I see that being a different fight. Maidana could hurt Broner, for sure. Marcos Maidana could beat Broner based on the fact of if Maidana doesn't respect Broner's power, then he's going to try to walk him down and he might land something big. On YouTube, probably going to be on World Star again. and he's basically ripping money to shreds and throwing it in the toilet and flushing it down the toilet. My thoughts on this, I think it's just ignorant. I said in a previous video when he actually first got arrested, I hope this guy doesn't become the next Mike Tyson, somebody who is a fighter who virtually comes from nothing, has gotten in trouble during his youth, and squanders their talent based on not knowing how to deal with the fame. And I think Mike Tyson was one of the premier examples of that in the 80s. I don't think he really knew how to deal with the limelights and the amount of publicity and press. I mean, he was a kid from Brooklyn, and he had pigeon coops and stuff. He didn't know how to handle it. All these fine women, Robin Givens and gold diggers, and just different things that come with fame, drugs. Mike Tyson really did it all. Groupies. If you watch the Tyson documentary, he was talking about how I think he had a title fight or one of his fights, and he was like, yeah, now with burning, he basically contracted a STD from some groupie. So he was just out there and in the fast lane, and that's what it looks like. Adrian Broner is kind of on the same path. Broner's very young. He's been successful to this point. He's excellent with marketing himself, but again, I don't want to see him become more of a circus act. I mean, you already dance after you knock people out and rap on the way to the ring entrance, and that could be who you are, so that's fine. But now some of the antics are getting overboard. Like, we accepted the brushing of the hair and the fake wedding proposals and stuff like that. But now it sounds like you're really, really trying to gain attention. As far as my opinion, I don't know all the facts, but this is not necessarily a good look for a young fighter with so much potential. And that's my only worry with Broner. I've said it in previous videos. I hope he has the mental strength to not let his career or his talent go to waste. I think Mike Tyson was the most gifted person at the time in the world, you know what I mean? Just that raw natural power, and he had skill, and he was just a lion. But I think Mike Tyson, he deconstructed himself. He was his own worst enemy. He had a lot of demons and a lot of problems, and I hope Adrian Broner doesn't go down a similar path. Just with, it looks like he likes the spotlight. Just don't let the fame catch you up. Kind of like a Willie Beeman in Any Given Sunday. He just got fame and didn't really know how to take it all in. So